Scott Rapoport has it going on. In sports tonight, he's here for Otis Livingston. Scott.
Hi, thank you, Dana. Thank you, ladies. A lot to talk about tonight. Jets and Giants grinding away in training camp today, and one potential star was missing, but not for long. And Jacob deGrom was on the mound for the Mets at Citi Field, and he had some unusual company, the offense. It actually showed up. Sports is next. Forget the analytics, forget the intricacies of the game, forget strategy. Tonight, we're talking huge men hitting slow pitches a country mile. This year's home run derby broke all the records. Toronto's Vlad Guerrero Jr. needed a record 40 home runs and 3 swing-offs in the semis to hold off the Dodgers' Jock Peterson. The Mets' Pete Alonso made it to the finals after beating Atlanta's Ronald Acuna Jr. with 20 home runs in the semifinals. In the finals, Guerrero showed some fatigue after hitting 69 home runs in the first 2 rounds. Vlad Jr. only able to hit 22 home runs. That left it wide open for the polar bear. Alonso didn't even need the bonus time to win the Derby. Alonso winning it with 23 home runs. He's now the second Met to take the Derby title. Alonso also takes home the $1 million prize and will be donating 5% apiece to Wounded Warriors and the Tunnel to Towers charities. Coming up across the pond, we go to Wimbledon and a big upset. A number 1 seed gets bounced. We'll tell you who when we come back. It is perhaps the worst-kept secret in baseball. The Yankees could use some pitching. But with the trade deadline approaching this Wednesday so far, zilch, nada, nothing. The Yanks had a much-needed night off after that rough 4-game series in Boston, which saw them lose 3 out of 4 and give up 44 runs in the process.
Tonight.
Yeah, we're going to start with baseball, Jessica, and who'da thunk it? Everyone thought the Mets were going to be sellers at the trade deadline, but at the moment, they appear to be buyers. The Amazons acquiring Marcus Stroman from the Blue Jays. Long Island native has a 2.96 ERA this season. That's the 5th lowest in the American League. In return, the Mets sent Toronto their top pitching prospect, Anthony Kay. He's also a Long Island native. Hey, break up the Mets. Believe it or not, they're one of the hottest teams in the National League since the All-Star break. Really. And the Pirates were trying to help them out at Citi Field. 3 errors for Pittsburgh. The Mets entered the final inning with a 5-run lead, but a pair of 2-run blasts by the Bucks, and suddenly it was 8-7. But all's well that ends well. Edwin Diaz regroups, gets the final 2 outs for the save. Mets win for the 10th time in 14 games. How about that? 8-7 the final. New York is now 5 games under 500. Yankees trying to avoid getting swept out of Boston, and the Bombers break out the bats. Backup catcher Austin Romine puts a lumber into that one. 2-0 Yankees in the 3rd. Next inning, Didi Gregorius does the same off Boston starter Chris Sale. Another 2-run jack. Bombers open up a 4-run lead in the 4th. Now 6-2 in the 6th when Didi flies out to short center. Too shallow to get to run to score, right? Hang on a second. Jackie Bradley Jr. tries to double off Luke Voigt at first, but there's no first baseman. That error allows 2 more runs to score. Yankees leading Boston 9-4 in the 8th inning. And the injury bug hitting Jets camp today. Offensive lineman Brent Qualley carted off the field this morning with a potentially serious knee injury. Head coach Adam Gase says it does not look promising. And finally, some good news from Giants camp. Here you go. No major injuries or suspensions to report from day 4. So as they say, no news is good news. Yanks looking to break out the brooms in the Bronx tonight, sweep away their arch rivals, the Boston Red Sox. But they would have to do it without a few good men. Aaron Hicks, Edwin Encarnacion hitting the injured list this weekend. No worry, says Aaron Judge. 1-0 Bombers in the 1st. On to the 3rd, where Gio Urshela gets one in his wheelhouse, and it's gone. 437 feet to the back wall of the bullpen, 3-0 Yankees. Yanks only getting started. They love facing David Price, who's 16-14 for his career against the Yanks with an ERA of 4.85. Mike Tauchman with a 2 RBI single. 7 runs and 2 2/3 for Price. He's gone. Yanks leading Boston 7-0 in the 4th. Memo to the Mets. Hey, boys, save some for later. The Amazings went on a scoring binge today to batter the Pittsburgh Pirates. And even better news, Noah Syndergaard was nearly unhittable. That's a pretty good combination. Mets trying to win their 6th series in 7 tries since the All-Star break. Look at that. J.D. Davis with a blast that reaches the 4th level walkway to make it 3-0 Mets. Officially a 449-foot bomb. New York pounding out 16 hits today. 3 of them belonging to Robbie Cano, but his last hit came at a costly price. There it is. Second baseman strains his left hamstring, trying to leg out a double. Did not return. He'll be reevaluated tomorrow morning, but a trip to the injured list seems likely. Meantime, the Mets continue to abuse the Bucks. Jeff McNeil with New York's third homer of the game, 13-2 the final. Mets improved to 15-6 since the All-Star break. 1 win away from getting back to 500 for the season. Yesterday's mass shootings really hit home for one Giants player. Will Hernandez called El Paso his home for 4 years. He played college football there at UTEP. And the offensive lineman tweeted this out last night. Heartbroken to see El Paso in this condition. Prayers go out to anyone affected by this tragedy. I know the people of El Paso are strong and will get through this. Love this city, and God bless. Better news now. We ready for something better? Finally, a fan last night stole the show, upstaging a game-winning home run. In San Diego, Pablo Sandoval hits what would be the game-winning homer in the 11th. But even more impressive, you watching, Jessica? Check out the catch by the fan. One-handed grab while holding a sleeping baby in the other arm. Baby didn't even wake up. Take another look. And if you're wondering, Mom loved it.
Holy cow.
Oh, baby. That is sports.